The views expressed in the following program do not necessarily represent the views of this station or its management.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Welcome back once again, Real People, Real Life, Wichita, Kansas, America.
We made
We're going to have a fun show.
We are.
Okay, I'm going to start over here. Okay, one of our guests today, very dear friend of mine. We won't say how long we've known each other because, we're really not that
Incriminating.
long. I know.
Yeah.
This is Mitch Brown, okay? And he is with Mitch Brown Racing, and we've got a lot of cool things to talk about with him. Of course, Don Landis. We've got some goodies we're going to talk about. And, of course, Joey, and Mr. Man over here, Brian Fry. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Brian.
Running for District 5.
Yes.
City Council, right on. Well, let's get down to some business here. I wanted to, even though it's a little cold out there today, okay, it's going to be back in the 70s here soon. So that's really why I wanted you to, come in here today and talk about motorcycle safety awareness. We're going to talk about our Kansas Motorcycle Museum and, of course, Mitch Brown Racing. We're going to talk to Brian about, a little bit about Brian, and then also, of course, kind of what he sees that we need, at the Wichita level. So before we get into that, you and I,
we had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun this weekend. We went to the Community Operations Recovery Empowerment, which is CORE.
It's a Know Your Rights workshop.
It was a Know Your Rights workshop.
They had, what I liked, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
What I liked about it, they had 3 defense attorneys. They're all public defenders.
One was not.
Okay.
2 are public defenders, and 1 actually works for a firm here in Wichita.
But they represent the federal and the local level. And then they had a former Wichita Police Department, currently a Dallas police officer, and he was able to give both sides, the other side of the story, which I thought was very good.
I think that the community that was there, they had some pretty genuine and real concerns, and I was really kind of, it was just constant information,
I liked the way they started it out. They said, let's keep it on a loving level.
That's exactly what the first thing I said, which was like, yay, Excuse me, I have my cough drops today.
Because it had the potential to be controversial.
It did. And I know that they did make reference to on the Wichita Police Department briefings, that there will be none of that kind of activity today, basically is what they were saying. Let's, keep this calm, peaceful, and in a loving manner. So that right there, I was very impressed. It's pretty much what I kind of thought it would be. They were brutally honest.
Oh, they certainly were.
Brutally honest.
Certainly were. And I liked the way it was a mature conversation.
It was.
About know your rights, but at the same time be respectful. And they certainly gave actually 5 bullet points of what to do. Man, bad question, bad reference there. 5 topics.
5 topics, bullet point. Okay, hold on. Yeah.
5 bullet points. Avoid being a bullet point. Okay.
Well, I thought it was funny. This police officer's huge, right? He's a big guy, and he has a big gun, right? And we're sitting there in the front row, and I needed to reach to get one of my cough drops because I've been kind of fighting this little cold thing. Right as he's talking about, when we pull you over, make sure you have both hands, on the steering wheel, and don't reach into your purses or in your glove boxes. And I'm reaching down, going, cough drop, seriously? Okay, that's all I need.
Did you see the baby sweat across his forehead about that time? No.
Oh no, I was just like, please, no. Anyway, but it was very informative. I think they did a great job. I do think that y'all need to check out CORE. Again, that's Community Operations Recovery Empowerment. Lamont Anderson is one of the chair.
Well, good friend
Robert
Brandon
Moody is one of the attorneys that was there, and he does work for a firm here in town. So, So
Brandon
check that
Johnson
out.
was here last week,
And
actually.
Brandon was here, and they're going to be doing a lot of different events coming up. So I think it's wonderful to see community events, like this coming up. I think they've been around since 2011, I believe. They started it was formed in 2011, September. So anyway, check into CORE, Community Operations Recovery Empowerment. They had a lot of wonderful information to get to learn and again, know your rights. And
it was a good Saturday morning.
It was, and I'll just sum it up. I think it was really, when the one federal attorney goes, well, I could have made this real easy for y'all. go home and watch the Chris Rock video of how not to get,
That's got some very good points.
It really, he named every one of them, and I'm just like,
he did.
You don't want to get beat up? Don't be stupid.
I know, right? Yeah, he was really cool. He was really cool. Well, again, I want to kind of get back over here to Mitch for a minute. We had some wonderful weather, and now we're kind of back in the freezer, but that 70 plus is coming back.
I think we'll bounce back. That's that time of the year. Last week when we had that beautiful weather, was a little bit made everybody think it was already springtime.
Right.
But you will see more and more motorcycles on the road. So
Correct.
I really appreciate you giving me an opportunity to come out and talk about it a little bit, because we don't think about it until it gets more towards the springtime.
And it was sad. I mean, we weren't even to February 1st, and we've already had fatalities.
That's correct.
When you started way back in the day, you did both car and motorcycle racing.
Yeah, so my background is, I'm a local Wichita guy, grew up here and started, riding and racing and running around like a lot of us did. And then this is my 28th year as a professional motorcycle racer. So I get a lot of exposure of all sides of it. The racing side of it, I have street bikes myself. And the main thing, I think that it's a constant changing environment.
Correct.
What we have to deal with today is not what we dealt with 5 years ago.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that kind of goes to everybody's on their cell phones. And I'm driving every day, to different meetings in different places, and please, folks, get off your cell phones. Please get off your cell phones. Pay attention. Pull over. That's one of the biggest things. I think is we're fighting. 20 years ago, we didn't have that cell phone problem that we have now.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's dangerous for everybody, but it's really our responsibility when we're in a car. I know some of you guys ride motorcycles too. It's my responsibility to look out for you like it is to look out for a pedestrian or someone on a bicycle.
I agree.
They're smaller, they're harder to see, and nobody wants to hurt anybody. But it's more of a responsibility to the rider themselves. You constantly have to be aware when you're riding a motorcycle. And then what we need to do is make sure that we don't get too anxious about the weather change. We still got a lot of sand on the rods. We got a lot. Everybody's just not used to what we need to be paying attention to.
Well, if they haven't been riding for 3 or 4 months,
right.
It's been too chilly. Brian, one of the things that you talk about, is improved safety. And I was telling you a little bit before we went on camera. I have a business right there on Douglas. Yeah. And we have customers and clients are like, good Lord, it's these folks are doing 50, 60 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour speed zone. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But one of the big things I liked about your some of your what Wichita needs, obviously the stronger economy, take care of our basic needs, improved safety. While we're talking about safety, chime in with me if you could.
Well, just to back up to what Mitch was saying, and it's a phrase that struck me, it reminded me of when I was a youth getting my driver's license. The thing that they drilled into you is defensive driving.
Right.
You have to protect your surroundings. Everyone that operates a motor vehicle has a right to be on the road, whether it be a truck, a car, or a motorcycle.
Right.
And you need to treat them with respect, but you also have to protect and defend, because you don't know what people are doing. And so put down the cell phone, concentrate on the road, and protect your surroundings.
Right.
Because they have every right to be on the road as well.
Right.
I grew up on a dirt bike, kept it off the street. But
I can't say the same.
I was going to say, I can't say that.
So
I did have a dirt bike first one.
1,000 that does.
But yeah, there's they can be small, and you got big trucks now that have blind spots. It's tough.
Oh yeah.
And you got to be on the lookout.
Right.
And it's not only motorcycles but bicyclists as well. The community is really trying to encourage more bicycle paths and more opportunity for bicycling.
Which I like that.
And that means there's more opportunity and more presence, and so you have to be really aware of those things.
Correct. I like what you say, Joe, because you are an avid rider, and I've seen the big Harley that you have. I've seen that one really.
And the chopper, and I've got too many bikes.
Yeah, but
Can't have too many.
I was going to say,
That's a bit of an oxymoron.
You can never have too many. But you had said something, and I don't know,
That's
it'll
what the
probably
guy
stick
from
with
the
me.
Bull Stop said too.
Yeah, you can never have too many guns. You never have too many motorcycles. But you said something that is so cool, because I think it's true. When you are on a motorcycle, you just have to assume that you're invisible.
I ride like I'm invisible. I never assume anybody can see me, and I think riding a motorcycle makes you a better driver.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I will see things on the pavement that somebody in a car never pays attention to.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because your tires are your entire life, and if that tire loses grip with the ground, then you're done. So in a car, you've got that false sense of stability. Oh, it can't fall over at the stoplight, so you don't pay attention to the sand and the little rocks and the little bolt that's going to go through a tire, or
the squished pop can that makes you just slip
all
right
that
on
stuff.
out.
You know, I mentioned taking a cell phone from somebody and slinging it across an intersection. I've done the same thing with their Slurpee that they poured out all over me when I was riding up next to their car. I put it back in their car for them.
Well, that was polite. That was polite. Yes.
Very nice of you.
That was very kind of you. Now, these younger folks that are wanting to get into racing, because we're going to be getting into the racing that you do here in a little bit, we have a track.
We have a track, Kansas International Dragway, 61st Street North and Ridge Road. Been there for 60 plus years.
Yeah.
The track will be opening in about February. I think they have a program every Friday night and Saturday night. And I know there's a lot of buzz, with the young guys. We've got some street racing shows on TV.
Right.
The track is definitely the place for that.
Exactly.
I grew up going to the track, racing my buddies. We just raced each other all night long, and it was a blast. It was a safer environment. There's an ambulance at the end of the track if something happens. I actually feel a lot safer going 216 mile an hour on a drag bike than I do riding down a city street, because it's more of a contained environment.
Right.
There's a paramedic there, and don't have any plan to jump off anyway. So
I know.
That's the best place to go.
When we talk about motorcycle racing that you're currently doing, what's the fastest you've gone?
This November, Mike Bondmeyer owns the bike that I race, Mid-Continent Motorsports. We went to the Manufacturers Cup Finals in Valdosta, Georgia. Our best time was 6.63 seconds, 216.27 mile an hour in the quarter mile.
That's motorcycle racing, kids. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be right back. Real people, real life.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Knapp Weaponry is the home of Wichita's newest indoor temperature-controlled shooting range. Mention this ad for 2-for-1 pricing weekdays from noon to 4. Knapp Weaponry is an NRA Business Alliance member that offers NRA and state-certified instruction classes, training, and women's unarmed self-defense classes. We buy and sell new and used guns and offer gunsmith services. Knapp Weaponry offers a free range session with the purchase of a new gun. We also offer transfer services and an array of ammo. Knapp Weaponry, the West Side's best-kept secret.
Hi, I'm Samantha.
And I'm Mike. I'm Domingo.
With Economy Motors. Tax time is right around the corner, and we're here ready to help you with your transportation needs. We offer a wide variety of quality vehicles priced $12,995 and under with easy approval and easy terms. Bad credit, no worries. Your job is your credit at Economy Motors, 2305 South Broadway, where we've got your back.
Economy Motors! 'Cause at Economy Motors, we got your back.
Hammond Liquor, home of the coldest beer in town and the lowest prices store-wide. For all your special events, your friends at Hammond Liquor have what you need, from beer, wines, spirits, champagne, and more. Open till 8 p.m. every Sunday. Hammond Liquor, West Kellogg and Tyler Road. Hammond Liquor, home of the coldest beer in town and lowest prices store-wide, wants to remind you of very important savings days. Wine Day, Tuesdays get 20% off. Beer Day, Wednesdays get 10% off. Microbrews and imports. Open till 8 p.m. every Sunday. Hammond Liquor, West Kellogg and Tyler Road.
Credit King Auto Sales is getting better all the time. We're doing it better. We're doing it better all the time.
The King, Credit King Auto Sales, the biggest buy here, pay here in Kansas. The King's Corner, 31st Street South and Broadway. The King knows you worked hard for your tax refund. The King will give you more for it. The King of buy here, pay here. The King of low down payments. Bad credit, no problem with the King. The King does it better than all the rest. Go creditking.com.
welcome back once again. Real people, real life, Wichita, Kansas. We're all still here.
Still here.
Okay, we still have Mitch, myself, Don, Joe, Joey, and of course, Mr. Brian Fright. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We did want to talk something about, a place that's really cool, our Kansas Motorcycle Museum.
Right, you're talking about motorcycle safety, and of course, that's what we need to be aware of. But the beauty of it is motorcycle riding.
Right.
So much to enjoy. Unless you ride a motorcycle, you don't understand that really it's the trip and the voyage.
Right.
When you drive down in a little low spot by a creek and you feel the air get cooler by 10 degrees and drive past the cattle pasture and get all the smells that you don't enjoy in your car. That's true Kansas.
There you go.
And there's a wonderful Kansas Motorcycle Museum that we have here. In fact, Kansas and Wichita specifically probably has one of the largest antique motorcycle collections of any place in the United States, let alone the world. We have some world-class motorcycle collectors here, and quite a few of their bikes are in the Kansas Motorcycle Museum at Marquette.
Yeah, it's in Marquette, Kansas.
Yeah.
And you can check it out, kansasmotorcyclemuseum.org.
That's
and
right.
I'll make sure and get that put up. So there's that kind of cultural experience, and that's a beautiful ride to Marquette, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a neat town.
And there's a place, a little restaurant right there by the museum that has the best homemade pies. Okay, I know this for a fact.
You got it.
Yeah, you need to try that. So, Brian, one of the things that I think that's cool, you're running for, District 5, speaking of museums and stuff like that, my goodness, Botanica board member, there's quite a few things here.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in serving your community.
Right.
I'm a lifelong Wichitan, grew up here, Wichita Southeast High School, Wichita State University, so lifelong Wichitan. And through my career, I've been able to volunteer for a lot of different organizations over the years. Currently on the board at Botanica, Cowtown, Music Theater of Wichita. God, what else am I on? A lot of different. And I've served on boards for Kansas Aviation Museum.
Yeah, Board of Park Commissioners.
Board of Park Commissioners, yeah, currently the president for that.
Okay.
So we talk about cultural attractions and museums. Wichita has some first-class facilities.
Oh, yeah.
Botanica is top of the list.
Right.
Cowtown is an experience like no other.
I love Cowtown.
You're not going to find that in just any state.
Yeah.
The collection of buildings that they have out there.
Right.
So we have some of the finest amenities and cultural attractions, and people need to take better advantage of them. So when the weather's really nice, get out and enjoy them. When the weather's not nice, get inside.
Well, yeah,
You know?
hang by the fire. That's about what it was like yesterday.
They've had some really great music shows out of Cowtown. They've really promoted that little theater out there.
Yeah, the shows out there, the Empire House.
Yes.
Right.
They've really done some interesting shows. They've done some steampunk shows.
Yes.
We just
which
had those
are pretty
folks on last
interesting.
week. Yeah.
If you've not experienced steampunk at Cowtown, you need to get out
You need
there.
to do
It's
it,
pretty
yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
Fred
it's not
Eaglesmith.
cowboys, it's different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's
we
fun.
had some of them on last
It's one of
week.
the most popular days we have out there now.
Yeah, I know. I know. Isn't that cool?
It's really growing.
I know. That is so crazy. So, Mitch, when we, when we're talking about, that motorcycle museum, I've been there enough times, but it is such a beautiful drive, to go and experience the museum. And I think it's a donation still.
Yeah, it's actually free, but donations are gratefully
Greatly,
accepted, which,
yeah.
For something like that, you should be. And a
Yeah.
lot of people are spending a lot of time to do that. It's open Monday through Friday, I think 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Sundays like 11 to 5. But it's always best to call to make sure they're going to be there. And they'll do groups, you can take a group of your buddies up there or a group of kids and teach them about history and motorcycling at the same time.
There's some cool motorcycles up there. I mean,
The third Sunday of every month is the run up there to Marquette.
They have the Thunder on the Smoky is their largest. It's like a fundraiser they have every year. I think that's in September when that is, but I can't remember what the monthly deal is.
Yeah, there's a particular day of the month. I think it's the third Sunday of every month, if I remember right.
And you don't have to have a motorcycle. You can go up there and just see all the, history. And the museum was started by a guy that originally lived in Marquette, was a motorcycle racer from the 40s through the 90s. There's a lot of his history up there, so it's just a neat deal.
I know. I've been there, and it is a wonderful.
And if you go to the
wonderful
rallies,
experience.
there will be somebody there that'll sell you a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
There might be a few of
Guaranteed.
those. Yes, there might be a few of those.
Yeah.
Gear.
Ice cream.
Hot dogs.
Back
Beer
to,
too.
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and a weird little bacon thing on a stick. I don't know what that is, but
Bacon.
Bacon. Oh my goodness. Okay. A few more things, Brian, just real quick that I wanted you to get into a bit for me. Wow, a stronger economy. Work with me here because I'm pulling my hair out.
Yeah. Our economy is rebounding, but not nearly fast enough. It's been at that 1% to 2% a year, and that's not sustainable. I think I've seen more people leaving this community than staying, and we've got companies every day in Wichita trying to get our companies to relocate. We saw that with Boeing, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And so we've got to do a better job of helping our local companies grow and want to stay here. I guarantee you that those families don't want to get uprooted. They would like to stay here and continue to live and enjoy life here. But
I may have to relocate.
The cost of doing business in Wichita is
insane.
That's odd because I've had this conversation before about the economy in Kansas.
That's correct.
It's been a while back. But how do you feel? Because it was about a year since we talked about that last.
I mean, although I'm a motorcycle racer by night, I'm a businessman by day, and I own a company called Black Rock Machinery. We sell CNC machines to manufacturing companies. So I have a pretty good view of what our manufacturing in Kansas is. And most of our manufacturers have done very well the last few years. They're growing, not at a huge pace, but quite a few of them are. But every industry has ups and downs. We're real familiar with the aerospace industry when it goes up and down, but we have the same thing. The agriculture guys are taking a hit right now because of the stuff going on in the Ukraine. But that's growing. I feel like we're headed in the right direction, but I want to ask Brian, what do you think that we can do to change that? I mean, I know there's a lot of little issues.
Right.
We have, tax breaks like Section 179 that helps businesses invest into their business and grow. That seems to always be on and off every year. I know it's a federal deal, but I mean, what other things can we do to help the businesses grow?
Well, I think we have to continue to diversify our economy and just not be so beholden to the aircraft. I think what Dr. Bardo is doing out of Wichita State and trying to create more innovation and being an incubator to grow new businesses, using some of the skill sets that we have an incredibly educated workforce, and that we can build world-class stuff because we have been. Okay, Absolutely. So maybe we should start building some other things and not just always aircraft parts. Maybe there's, heating and cooling equipment. Maybe there's composite materials for use in medical field. Diversifying some of that skill set so that it's just not always reliant on the aviation.
Perhaps we can make movies.
Tallgrass Film Festival is a fantastic little growing thing. 10 years strong now.
Cowtown's a good set.
Cowtown's a fantastic set.
Yeah, it is.
Aviation Museum's got a fantastic set there with their airport. So, there's a lot of things that Wichita has shown in our history that we can overcome obstacles and reinvent ourselves. We started as a trading post in the 1870s with the Chisholms. And then in the early 1900s, we became aircraft, and we started building aircraft parts and machines. Then in the 60s, we started doing restaurants and lease-to-own. We have constantly reinvented ourselves. Now's the time to reinvent ourselves again for that next generation so that those families do want to stay here and they want to keep roots, and those companies want to continue to build and grow here. We can have another great boom, another great technological innovation, but we have to continue to diversify. We have to continue to educate, utilize what Wichita State is trying to build so that companies that are growing can go out there and get information and learn and be tapped into what's happening, so they're not feeling like they're struggling or just trying to get by on their own. Take advantage of those resources out there.
Right, I agree with that. And that goes back to the core, and every week we find out new different groups that are coming on and wanting to help. There's a lot of support from community. I think that's one of the coolest things, about Wichita and Kansas in general. Great people, absolutely great people. And I know we're probably going to have people calling. Do you do classes?
Classes.
Uh-huh.
No.
No, I know. Because I know somebody's going to call me here in this next segment when we show Mitch going like 200 miles an hour.
No.
And they're going to, I can just see my phone calls. Does he teach? I can see every mother calling me.
No.
No.
Let my mom see.
Yeah.
We did
You don't
roll
teach.
off-
The wool over our eyes for
I
28
think
years.
they did rope off Greenwood, so we can do that 200.
Yeah, there you go. Too cold today.
Oh, yeah, okay. But I can see people asking.
Yeah.
How do
You know,
we
but-
bring the Grand Prix back to Wichita that used to be here?
What was it?
There used to be a Grand Prix that ran around through the park
Oh,
roads
yeah?
and here in Wichita. I'd run around McLean and come back through the parks. That was a cool thing when I was a kid, and it only lasted a short time, and then they got rid of it because people got upset. And
We could try it on tricycles.
I think we should bring back Dragging Douglas, but that's just me.
Yeah.
No, but and then
We
you
knew
get
where
into
all
that.
the kids were. They were all in a contained area surrounded by concrete buildings. It was perfect.
I know.
Why
No,
somebody-
under that one bridge, where the train track above, that's where you just got to gun it,
Do your burnouts. And
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, my favorite was going down there either on motorcycle
Why
or
they
that one
discourage
GTO.
that,
Yep.
And that's why the pigeons live there now.
Oh,
We don't let
great.
them off anymore.
Yeah, that's the
We train our
problem.
kids in hot cars for bird poop.
Somehow it doesn't quite balance, does it?
No,
I don't think that you'll see in a tourism piece.
Probably
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
We can float that by and go Wichita and see.
No, they changed the National Endowment for the Arts, so I can't do anything with that. So, maybe 5-6 years ago.
Maybe we get a group of guys. We start dragging Douglas again just on bikes.
They actually have done that the last couple of years, I think, after the Blacktop show or
Right.
something, which is neat, because a lot of us did that. And, I think we all know that one of the other things is, probably a lot of us, our parents, is, our kids are so involved in things in the house, and getting out of the house like we used to do is a big thing. And so, we live in a good area for that, but.
Yeah, we do that. That is one thing that gets brought up a lot, Brian, and this is something to think about too. The different people that we have on a lot of times their kids are on the computers or walking down the street on their phone and bonk into a sign or something. But they need to get outside again.
Oh, yeah.
And there's too many cool things to do. We do have motorcycle classes here in town.
That's right. There's 2 different ones that I know of. Alf's Harley Davidson teaches a class, and then there's one in the Town West Mall also, and they teach a class out there. So, and that's the best way. My business partner, he just is an empty nester, wanted to get back into motorcycling, hadn't rode since college, and he took the class at the dealership in Kansas City.
Wow.
It's the smartest way to do it.
I
Don't
agree.
assume that you're a great rider that you were when you were 20, because things change. Bikes are heavy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's better to,
big difference.
to take some instruction.
Big
Pay
difference.
some bills and come right back,
Yep.
folks.
We'll be right back.
Real People, Real Life is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
Hi, I'm Samantha
And I'm Mike. I'm Domingo.
with Economy Motors. Tax time is right around the corner, and we're here ready to help you with your transportation needs. We offer a wide variety of quality vehicles priced $12,995 and under with easy approval and easy terms. Bad credit, no worries. Your job is your credit at Economy Motors, 2305 South Broadway, where we've got your back.
Economy Motors. 'Cause at Economy Motors, we got your back.
Knapp Weaponry is the home of Wichita's newest indoor temperature-controlled shooting range. Mention this ad for 2-for-1 pricing weekdays from noon to 4. Knapp Weaponry is an NRA Business Alliance member that offers NRA and state-certified instruction classes, training, and women's unarmed self-defense classes. We buy and sell new and used guns and offer gunsmith services. Knapp Weaponry offers a free range session with the purchase of a new gun. We also offer transfer services and an array of ammo. Knapp Weaponry, the West Side's best-kept secret.
Credit King Auto Sales is getting better all the time. We're doing it better. We're doing it better all the time.
The King, Credit King Auto Sales, the biggest buy here, pay here in Kansas. The King's Quarter, 31st Street South and Broadway. The King knows you worked hard for your tax refund. The King will give you more for it. The King of buy here, pay here. The King of low down payments. Bad credit, no problem with the King. The King does it better than all the rest. Go creditking.com.
Hammond Liquor, home of the coldest beer in town and lowest prices store-wide, wants to remind you of very important savings days. Wine Day, Tuesdays get 20% off. Beer Day, Wednesdays get 10% off. Microbrews and imports. Open till 8 p.m. every Sunday. Hammond Liquor, West Kellogg and Tyler Road.